It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
Cool, we are live. Hey everybody, welcome to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode number 85, and today is the 22nd of June 2016. I'm going to kick this off real quick. Got some really cool announcements coming up, but I first obviously want to go around and say hi to everybody. So Hernan, what's up, man?
Hey Adam, hey guys, what's up? It's really good to be here.
Marco, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Raining in Costa Rica, but nice and warm.
Nice. Bradley, how about yourself?
Good, man. I'm finally getting this Facebook Live video thing working right. I think somebody go to the Facebook page, our Semantic Mastery Facebook page, and check it. Tell me if the audio is coming through correctly this time. I think it is. I played with it earlier today, but we're trying to simulcast on Facebook Live at the same time.
Yeah, I feel you. I've been playing around with that, and so I can see the same look in your face. You're like looking off to the side, like trying to figure it out.
Well, here's the thing. Let me grab the screen for a minute, because I'm gonna try to display this on both. But I've got like my big monitor, which is a big 32-inch monitor, and I've got everything divided into 4 compartments. Let me show you what I mean, because it's a bit messy trying to handle all this on my own. But you guys seeing this? Like,
oh my God!
If you see my
that looks good.
I've got here's the Chrome window. Here's Firefox, because we always end up needing it for searches and stuff like that. Here's my Hangout window, and here's my OBS software. So it's like this big mess.
That's nice.
So I'm good. Besides that, just a little bit trying to multitask and do a webinar at the same time is a bit difficult.
Cool. Yeah, I think the audio is working. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Cool.
I'm gonna shut that, or I'm gonna go crazy and forget where I'm at. All right, I don't know how you do that on one screen, but anyways. All right, announcements. So hopefully everybody listening heard about the contest we're having. If not, then you're gonna hear about it right now. So I'm gonna drop the link shortly. Sign up. That's the short version. It's pretty awesome. All right, so it's like, stuff we value at over $9,000, and that's just not a made-up number. That's literally, the value. I think it's closer to $10,000. We're giving away a mastermind membership for an entire year, a masterclass membership, IFTTT SEO Academy 2.0, as well as some of the freedom journals from Entrepreneurs on Fire. So kind of a pretty cool opportunity. And that's one of the contests. If you share it, you get more like electronic entries into it. Yeah, and so you have a better chance, because it's it's a drawing, but it's based on how many entries you have into it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in right here. And then if you are listening, this is probably a good time to talk about it. If you're listening on Facebook right now, or you're watching this, where you want to come to is the Google+, the event page, and that's where you can ask questions, you can interact, and that's where we're going to respond to things. So we want you to come over here. And Bradley, did you drop the link to the event page on the Hangout, or sorry, on the Facebook?
In Facebook, I did in the video title area, because there's not like a description area when you create the live event. So I don't know if that's going to come through, if that's going to be clickable or anything.
Sure, but if you're not, or if you're watching this, it's semanticmastery.com/humpday, and that always takes you to the most current one, and we don't, I guess, recycle that or redirect it until at least the day after the event. So anyways, if you're on Facebook and got a question, head over there, semanticmastery.com/humpday.
Perfect.
Yep, and then you can also subscribe on the event page by clicking on the ticket, the little ticket icon, or you can just go to our YouTube channel and click on subscribe, and that way you'll get notifications. Like if you can't attend live and you've asked a question, you'll start getting updates on when our content comes out, and you can go back and look for your answers. And then last but not least, we have a launch on the 28th. We got a really awesome product coming out that Bradley worked together. Well, I don't know, Bradley, do you want to talk about it? I'll let you talk about it. And it's on the 28th, and it's kind of, for Semantic Mastery, it's kind of low key, but we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So we formed a partnership with Zane Miller, who's a YouTube ninja. I learned a lot of my stuff that I know about YouTube through Zane, and he's kind of a partner now. Well, not kind of, he is a partner now. Mastery PR, we went ahead and formed another company, and he's a partner in that. So him and I collaborated together on creating a product on how to outsource. Semantic Mastery, between Semantic Mastery and my local client consulting business, we manage about 30 VAs, and 26 or so are full-time, 4 are part-time. And because of that, I've gotten really, really good at outsourcing and being able to, put people through what we call a hiring funnel, and then train them and manage them. And so I did a training on that because something that we get from our subscribers or members of our various memberships all the time is questions about outsourcing and how people are flat out just unsuccessful with it on a regular basis. And because of that, we wanted to put something together that to help people get started with outsourcing better. Because if you want to be a real business owner, you have to be able to delegate work so that you can remove yourself from your business and have it still produce money for you. So that's really what we did with Outsource Kingpin. It launches next week on Tuesday under the Mastery PR brand, because that's our that's the new company with Zane as well. Semantic Mastery isn't going anywhere, guys. It's a different different audience altogether. So, but check it out. It's going to be really cheap, $47 to start, $67 after a few days, and then it's going to be an evergreen product. I don't like closing launches. I think that's dumb, personally. So it'll be $97 on a regular evergreen pricing. So just get in if you're planning on getting in. Get in while it's cheap. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. To add to what you were saying, Bradley, I've used the system because here's the deal. There's a system that we are using to get out outsourcers, and I always get that question too. Where do you get the outsourcers from? And that's not the real answer. The real question to ask. The real question is, how do you get the best outsourcers? Because once you get the system in place, it doesn't really matter where you get them from. So there's a system in place, and I have used that system over and over again to get outsourcers for other projects or other businesses, whatever. And I think it works amazingly well for, as you were saying, to put together a business from scratch, because that's the main deal here, so that you can focus on your business instead of the grunt work. So I think it's a really, really cool opportunity. This is a product that should be valued, in my opinion, for 4 figures, because it's a business in a box, But then again, we are deciding to price it like that, and I think it's a really, really cool opportunity. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that wraps that part up. You guys got anything else? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
We're good.
All right. All right. Let's do it.
All right. So I can focus in on one window now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely confusing. There's too much damn activity. All right. I'm going to get right into questions. Let me, for those of you watching the Hangout, grab the screen. Let's see. We'll go here. Okay. You guys can confirm that the screen is showing in Hangouts as well.
Hold on a sec. I don't see it.
Because I got so many windows open, I don't know which one I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think all I've got is a black screen right now on the Hangout.
Oh, you know what? We did this the last time, and that's because I think OBS is using that feed.
Yeah, it doesn't like Chrome.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's okay. What I'll do, just give me 1 minute, guys. We'll swap this out. This will make it easier. Just a moment. Bear with me. Growing pains while we learn new technology, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Firefox instead, and now if I grab that window, you guys should be able to see that. Just a moment. How about now?
Good to go.
Hot damn.
That works.
All right.
Some behind the scenes action here, guys. Multitasking. All right, so let's get into this. Mark O'Connell, he says, hey guys, do you ever build statewide YouTube channels for all businesses in different niches and silo out per city instead of niche with the playlists? I want to do it for the whole of England, which is smaller than many states in the U.S. Is it too general to have multiple niches in a city playlist, or would countrywide be too much, as England is pretty small, so most countries only have one main city. Most counties only have one main city, so would like to silo with cities instead and build 5 two-tier networks for it. Even if it couldn't rank videos, this would be good for additional embeds and could maybe be used as my own link network possibly, or is this a waste of time? Thanks. I personally would niche. I would build niche channels that would cover the entire country. So in other words, like I would have, like, for example, a home improvement channel, or home improvement services channel or something like that, so that you could cover plumbers and HVAC and landscapers and all that kind of stuff, and do it across the whole country and silo by location. Then I would still try to keep the channel themed in some way, though, is what I'm saying. Even if it's a broader theme where you could have like subcategories underneath of it, I would still themed channels just perform better. That's what I'm getting at, and that's why we hammer away with theming everything the way that we do, guys, because you get better results. Not saying you couldn't do it with the way that you're saying, but here's the thing. One is that your channel, that's putting a lot of eggs in one basket, which I would be concerned with, because if YouTube ever decides they don't like you for some reason and they terminate your account, it could really hurt your business. At least if you have multiple YouTube channels, preferably themed channels, then you're spreading your risk across multiple channels instead of all on one. So that's and anybody that's been watching, Mark, you've been following us for a long time, I know, so you know that I like to spread my risk. I do not like to put all my eggs in one basket ever. So personally, I would say it would be better to go ahead and still build theme channels that you could use to target the country, and you could still silo out by city or county/city if you'd like. I mean, remember, guys, you can have more than one type of playlist. What I mean is, like, you could have a playlist for plumbers, and so all plumbing videos from the entire country could go into it because the common theme there is they're all plumbing videos. But then you could also have a playlist for a particular city and have multiple types of videos in that one playlist because the common theme is the city. And one video can be in two playlists. So it might make sense to have, a plumber plus city video in a plumbing playlist and then also in a city playlist, right? It might make sense to do that. And so, I mean, it really just depends on how you want to get, how creative you want to get with your silos. I like to theme things as much as possible. I've got some location-based channels that don't perform as well as niche-based channels do. So, I tend to try to stick with niche themes over location themes, if that makes sense. What do you guys think? Any of you all have a take on that?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and my experience is kind of the same. I have had greater results with niched channels instead of location channels. So I can vouch on that. Like, if you're making a channel around, I've made a channel in the past around lawyers, and it has outperformed everything location related that I've done as well. For example, I have a California YouTube channel, and I try to niche by location, and it's kind of harder. I don't know why.
Well, it's harder because the content, the only common theme or denominator is the location itself. It can have vastly different topics, though, and so that's where the difference is, because at least when you're doing a niche theme channel, again, let's just say it was a plumber's channel, a channel for plumbing videos or whatever, then every video that you add to that channel is going to reinforce the plumbing theme, right? But if you're doing location-based, even though everything might have a common denominator of, it's the same city, they're all within, all the businesses or all the videos have the same city keyword in the title or whatever, you're filling the channel with vast, a whole bunch of different types of content.
Right.
And so that in itself, it kind of dilutes the overall theme. And remember, guys, relevancy is very key. It's very important as part of the semantic web. And so trying to reinforce relevancy should be your key objective. Okay? All right, Ryan says, is it okay to use the same group? Oh, wait a minute. I think there was a second part. Even if it couldn't rank videos, this would be good for additional embeds. And could maybe be used as my own link network possibly, or is this a waste of time? Well, I mean, it's definitely, those networks would be good for additional embeds, absolutely, for just SEO for your videos, period. I don't know about for a private link network. Not really, because you'd be syndicating YouTube videos, right? And the YouTube videos get syndicated out, and really you're just driving link equity back to the video itself, and then the video might have links to where, whatever your target URLs are, but they're going to be no follow links. Doesn't mean that that's not valuable. I'm just saying, as far as a link network, I don't see that being really relevant as if it's a YouTube network. But for additional YouTube SEO, yeah, of course it would help. Okay. Ryan says, is it okay to use the same group of PBNs to link to multiple money sites? If each PBN links out to different authority sites, will that get rid of the footprint? Ryan, it is okay. However, I recommend that if you're going to be using PBNs to link to multiple money sites, that you go with the curation route of curating content as your posts for your PBNs, and then using your money sites as curated content, because there's 3 types of links that you can put into a curated article. And that's why I like using curated content on PBNs, because you can bury your target URL. It looks completely natural to put your target URL in a post that's curated. And here's the 3 different link types. There's the traditional contextual link type, which would just be you selecting a keyword or keyword phrase or whatever and linking out to your money site, right, among curated pieces of content. That's number 1. Number 2 is to actually curate from your money site. In other words, grab a snippet of text from your money site, from the page that you're going to be linking to, and use that as curated. So put it in block quotes, cite the source, and that's your backlink when you're citing the source, which would be your money site. Because now, remember, if you got a PBN curated post and it's going to have, let's say, 3 content sources or 3 pieces of curated content to make up that post, you have your own opinion or your own commentary that you inject into that curated post in between pieces that you're curating, right? You open up the topic or the article or the blog post with your own opinion, where you're announcing what the article is going to be about. That's in your own voice. That's your own commentary, or your VAs. You know what I'm saying. But then you curate some content, you follow up with some commentary, open up the next piece of content. In other words, you introduce the next piece of content, you curate the next piece, same thing. You do that all the way through, and then you add a conclusion. It can be done very, very quickly on PBNs, guys. We have Philippines VAs that curate PBN posts for us, and they do at the rate of about 3 per hour, so 1 every 20 minutes. And if I'm paying $4.50 an hour, that's $1.50 per post, right? So it's really, really cheap. But so the 3 link types: number 1, contextual link; number 2 is to curate your money site content so that you're citing the source. The third one is to add a recommended resources or related reading, related content, something like that, box at the bottom of the content, which you see on most big blogs, right, where it'll say recommended reading or similar similar articles, or you might also like that type of thing. You put a box and you link out to several other articles that reinforce the topic of the blog post. And you can put a link to your money site there as well, among others. So typically I will say we put like 5 related article links at the bottom of the article. And so we could put our money site link in any one of those 5 link spots. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So now we can, again, if you're going to be using PBNs to link to multiple money sites, as long as you're switching up the type, here's where you don't want to do it. If you just got a standard blog post that's from a content farm, it's probably shitty content, number 1. It's got a contextual link to your money sites and a link to a Wikipedia or a .gov site, which is what everybody and their mother does that's in SEO, and maybe a YouTube video. I mean, it's plainly a PBN site. And so somebody could kind of reverse map out and start identifying which your money sites are that way. But when you're using curated content, it becomes much more difficult, because now all of your posts are outbound linking and citing sources and reinforcing, linking to related content. And yours is just one. You're now a needle in a haystack. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I love that approach, Bradley, because it reinforces co-citation, which has been discussed with Lisa Allen. And the main idea is that your website gets linked among authorities, so that gives you authority. Another thing that you can do, Ryan, as well, is to hide a bit of this footprint. You can link to your tier 1 links, like your IFTTT. Like, for example, you can leave a link to a tweet where when you're linking to the page that you want to rank. Or you can leave a link to, let's say, a Google Plus post. That further dilutes your footprint, because you're linking back to tier 1. And I have seen amazing results by linking to tier 1 properties, in particular to those posts that have been syndicated out from your IFTTT syndication networks. If you are powering those with PBN links, you're further diluting that footprint because you're linking out to a WordPress.com blog post or to a tweet, So that's in itself an authority link and a link that will provide you with link shoes. So.
Yep. Okay, next question is Kevin. I got a question about the schema type that he's using. Right now he's using physician, markup on the home page and nothing on the inner pages. I'm considering changing it to organization schema as it is a more accurate reflection of my site. Can I just delete the physician markup and change everything to organization markup, keeping my same as location, etc.? Or will that ruin ranking and ruin any good standing I have with the Semantic Web Police? No, I would say if that is your proper, if organization better fits, which it looks like it probably would in your case because it's a national surgeon review site, yeah, I would go ahead and switch it out because you're actually doing the Semantic Web a favor if you're updating data to be more accurate. And so I don't think, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not 100% sure if it will affect your rankings or not. I don't think that it would. In fact, I think it would probably be an improvement if that is the case, that organization better, more accurately represents the business. But I'm not 100% sure. Marco or Hernan, have you guys seen when you change a schema type, has it affected rankings?
No, I'm not entirely. No, I don't have data to back this up. I mean, it could, but again, if it reflects,
it would be temporary, in my opinion.
Right? Yeah. It's like a 301. You're changing you're changing something that Google had indexed, and fitting it with something else. I think it should be fine. Maybe what you could do is before changing that physician, maybe grab a page or two, like internal pages, and add the physician markup in them and see what it does. Instead of changing the home page in one swoop, that could potentially harm your entire website rankings. You could do it like on phases, without spamming, of course, because you will have physician on the home page. Even further, if you're adding that's schema, but if you're adding JSON-LD to the header, then you will be repeating physician on the inner page. That's a no-go. But if you're adding schema, you can get rid of a schema inside of or add physician inside of an internal page and see what it does. Once you're sure.
If he's using microdata instead of JSON-LD, is what you mean.
Right. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then yeah. Or you can change it for, let's say, a week and see how it behaves, and then roll back. You can always roll back. So.
Yeah. But my point is, you do not want to do the second part, which is where you add both schema types. You do not want to do that. You want to select one, and I always recommend, guys, that you use with Semantic Web, guys, you want to be as accurate as possible. And even if you have something that is working, if at a like for example, the business types, the type markup is always evolving. They're always adding new ones. And so if you build your site today and you pick the best category for type that's available, but 5-6 months down the road, they now have a very specific category that better represents your business or your website, then I recommend that you always go and update the data, because you want to try to be as accurate as possible. Data purity, that's what the Semantic Web is all about, right, is data purity. And so if you're going in and updating it to be a more accurate representation of what the business or the website actually is, and again, I don't have any data to back this up, but I can't imagine, it might bounce a little bit, dance a little bit, because they typically always do when you do any sort of changes. But my guess is it would come back stronger, and you'd be doing, long term, you'd be in a better position, in my opinion. But I don't have any data to back that up, Kevin. You just have to try it. But do not add double markup, because that's basically structured data spam. You don't want to do that. Okay. Hopefully that was an adequate answer. Hey guys, happy hump day, Greg says. +1, if I have a network of accounts branded around a person's name, pushing content to its own set of web properties. I understand the diagram that shows the triggers from Tier 1 to Blogger Tier 1. Okay, but what I'm missing is how the Tier 2 networks are set up in IFTTT. Oh no. You guys want to see me puke about this?
Nope. Add him to the rescue. I'm pulling the link right now.
Yeah. Oh God, Greg, we have hashed this out.
Greg, I got some good links
least
for
a
you.
dozen
It's
times,
good
Greg.
because people have asked it, so we're gonna give you several good links that you can go through.
We're
Cool
gonna
drawings too.
we're gonna do a data dump on you, Greg, and drop 15 different explanations of this on you because gets asked repeatedly, and I've answered this question 15 different ways, and so you're gonna get all of them, buddy.
Right.
One of those answers will be sufficient for you.
Let's see. So yeah, I've got that. I'll tag Greg. I'll tag you in the post and drop you some links.
Yeah. So just to I'm not going to go through and answer this question because we've got 15 answers on the page now already. But yes, you use the exact same recipes that are in the account workbook template, guys. If there was a separate set of tier 2 recipes, they would have been included in the account workbook template. We gave you everything you need. So you have to set up your tier 2 triggers that are triggered by your tier 1 RSS feed. So your Blogger RSS feed would trigger tier 2A. Your Tumblr RSS feed would trigger tier 2B. That's it. But you have to add related content sources in, and we've been over that a million times as well. So Greg, just go through the training links that Adam just dropped on the page, and you should have your answer. Okay. Rob says, "Hey guys and gals, what's doing?" Okay. Hope you're well. My question is, can anyone tell me how to make IFTTT RSS feed posts from my money site be designated as sticky when I syndicate to my tier 1 network properties? Goal: I want my money site feed posts to stay at the top of my web 2s, staying above the non-sticky RSS feed posts, other relevant content, which eventually rotate off the page. Okay, there's some problems with your question, Rob. Don't take that the wrong way. What I mean is the premise of your question is a bit off, and why I say that is because, first of all, your tier 1 network properties should only be syndicating your content and nobody else's. So I'm not sure what you're talking about here. You must be feeding related content into your tier 1 network from other content sources, which is that's not. I mean, that's wrong. It's not the best way to do it, because why would you want to dilute your tier 1 branded network with other people's content? And hold on a minute, because before everybody says, well, you just said it's okay to curate content. Yeah, it is. But when you're curating content and publishing it from your money site blog, it's being syndicated from your blog to your tier 1 branded network with all the backlinks pointing back to your money site. Essentially, you're still citing other people's content, but you're not just blatantly feeding other people's content to your tier 1 branded properties. That wouldn't make any sense, in my opinion, because you'd be diluting your brand, right? When you're publishing content from your own blog that gets syndicated, the only thing that should be on your tier 1 networks, guys, is your money site content or your money channel content if it's a YouTube network. That's it. You shouldn't be syndicating other people's content on that. I mean, you can if you want, but you're diluting it. Why would you want to dilute your brand? Does that make sense? So the related content feeds are tier 2 stuff. Like if you're adding related content sources to, it's only when you're using a 2-tier network on blog syndication that that's even necessary, in which case it's absolutely necessary. But then you would be feeding related content as tier 2 triggers only. Read Greg Dreber's question from the previous question. Go through the stuff that Adam just posted on the page, and it'll explain it a little bit better. Okay? And as far as your RSS feed, you cannot, by default, through WordPress, you can't, at least as far as I know, I'm sure somebody could probably find a plugin that does this or something, but as far as I know, by the native WordPress feed function will not allow you to make anything sticky or make any posts stick into the feed. It's just going to take your most recent post, and that's up to you. If you go to your settings reading, you can determine how many posts display in your feed. By default, it's 10. And that's typically what most of them are. It will be the 10 most recent blog posts will be displayed in your feed. Now, Lisa Allen has Rank Feeder, which is, Rank Feeder will enable you to make custom feeds and put sticky posts in those feeds. So, you can always check out RSS Authority Sniper 2.0 and Rank Feeder and probably accomplish what you're trying to do using that. Anybody want to comment on that? I thought I heard some mumbling.
No, I was mumbling because I was about to say Lisa Allen's tool.
Okay.
I've been using it for YouTube, and it works really good. I mean, Works really, really well for YouTube. Haven't tested for money sites, but having co-citation on your YouTube videos will definitely give you a ranking boost in YouTube and Google. So.
Well, and during the webinar that we did, which that's still available, guys, to watch, as far as I know, right, Adam? I think that's still available to watch. Okay, yeah. If I don't, I'm assuming you already dropped the link, but go check it out because you'll see in the webinar we did with Lisa that she ranked for what is it, in-stream ads tutorial against the likes. She outranked Real SEO and Digital Marketer and V-Roll, and like it's insane what she was able to outrank with 0 backlinks with just co-citation.
Yep.
Absolutely incredible what she was able to do there. I mean, that's not the norm. Individual results may vary. Let me disclaim that because that is not the norm, but it's very impressive when you see a post with 0 backlinks outranking Digital Marketer and Real SEO V-Roll. Like, come on, that's insane. So, I mean, I was really impressed with that. So check it out if you haven't already seen it. Okay, let's see. Ryan says, hey Bradley, do you do anything to boost the HTML sites that you rebuild through blue chip backlinks like FCS, GSA links? Well, not normally, Ryan, because the whole point of me using those rebuilt HTML sites is the ease of setup. It's just I find stuff that already has really good, really relevant inbound links to the domain that I'm purchasing, and then I just slap it up in about 15 or 20 minutes time, and I'm done. And that's what I like about building what I call the private link network versus a private blog network, is they're so much easier to set up. It's a lot more efficient. However, there are some times, there are certainly cases where I've taken one of those sites and added additional link building campaigns to that site because I wanted to boost it or whatever. But it's not in the standard operating procedure for me to set up a link campaign for those. You certainly can, though. Depends on what your bandwidth is, right? So. Lance Gross says, hello, I have a question about getting my IFTTT network to benefit videos. I previously posted to my business branded YouTube account. I've already included the YouTube like recipes, so I tried unliking a video from, let's see, I just lost it. I tried unliking a video and then liking it again to hopefully trigger the syndication of the video across my IFTTT network. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to work. Damn, that sucks, Lance. I've never actually tried that, so I'm glad that I know it does not work. I've tried contacting support about it, but they don't seem to know what to do. If you're talking about IFTTT support, it's terrible. Well, I mean, it's free. What do you expect? You know what I mean? But they, as far as I know, I've contacted them before via Twitter, and that's the only way, and it's just been really an unpleasant experience. So, can you offer any input? I'd like to try to find a way to still syndicate my previously posted videos without having to do it all manually, if possible. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Lance. This is what I do typically, is I have another set of networks set up, or instead of, okay, the cost-effective way is if you just have the one network that you want to use, again, through, and in this case it's a branded network, and you want to re-syndicate videos to that network that have already been syndicated, and then you did the like recipes, which re-syndicated them. Now you want to do it again for another boost. That's fine. Let me tell you how to do it. Set up another like Blogger account or a WordPress.com account. You can use a self-hosted WordPress site, but you don't need to. You could use a free site. Set up just another blog account, Tumblr, WordPress, or Blogger, and then set up recipes using the same recipes that are in the IFTTT recipe workbook. Use the RSS2 recipes to set up a whole set of RSS2 recipes for your Tier 1 branded network, right? For using the RSS feed from the Blogger account that you just set up. Then all you do is just create posts on the Blogger account with the videos. It's a little bit manual, but it's a hell of a lot better than some of the alternatives, and that's what I've done. Like, I'll have like a secondary Blogger account. You can use this. By the way, you can have multiple Blogger accounts underneath the same Google account, so you can just use whatever your Tier 1 branded Blogger account is. Just create another blog in that account. Then all you'll do is go back to your YouTube channel, just copy the embed code and the title. You can copy the description if you'd like. However, I recommend that you stick to the type of descriptions that we have set up in the recipes for YouTube, which is just linking back to the video itself and the channel, and then just publishing the post on the Blogger. Blogger will automatically publish through IFTTT back to your network again. Does that make sense? And the only time that blog Blogger account will publish content is when you are actually posting so it's not like you have any other content being posted to that. So I use it just as a resyndication trigger point, if that makes sense. You can do it with Blogger, self-hosted WordPress, WordPress.com. It doesn't matter really. Just pick one and set it up, and again, that's something a VA can do, Lance. I would, you could set it up, give a training video to a VA, and tell them what you want them to do, and have them hire them 4 hours or something to sit down one day and go through 30 days worth of videos and post them on your Blogger account, the secondary Blogger account, which will re-syndicate them across your network. Does that make sense? It's not something you should be doing, is my point, because you can create a quick video showing how to do it once and give that to a VA and have them just repeat it over and over and over again for all the videos in your channel. Right? And in case, look at this. I got 15 windows ringing me now, guys. Pardon me. In case you want to know how to do that, step by step, how to outsource that, Outsource Kingpin will be available next Tuesday. Yeah. Shameless plug.
we don't have a waiting list for that, no? We will be sending an email anyways to our list. So.
All right, Lo says, "Hey guys, happy Hump Day. Can you +1 that? Can you spend some time on keyword research for videos, please? In some previous Hangouts, you mentioned that some keywords just may not rank. Question: how do you qualify good keywords from that's just not going to rank a keyword?" Okay. Well, testing. Lo, if there was I wish there was some tool that would tell us. There are some tools out there that will you can put in a list of keywords and it will go out and tell you if there's any videos already on page 1. That's a pretty good indication that you can rank a video for that keyword if there's already a video on page 1. But there's also a lot of keywords that don't have any videos on page 1, but it's because nobody's ever tried. It doesn't, you know what I mean? So, or they're just poor SEOs. It doesn't mean that just because there's not a video that you can't get one there. Unfortunately, that's about the best indication that you can have without testing. And personally, I always just test. And the way that I'll do it is I'll use certain testing tools. I've used Hangout Millionaire for that for a long time, but then Jeffrey Evans came out with Buddy VIP, which is like a YouTube keyword poking tool. To be honest with you, though, Peter Drew has one that he's working. He was also the developer of Hangout Millionaire. He's got a program in beta right now called LiveRank Sniper, and it does exactly what we're talking about, which is test keywords. And it's in beta. I have access to it. It's really good, and I would hold out until that's available, and I would definitely jump on that because that is going to give you, without a shadow of a doubt, it will tell you whether you can rank for certain keywords or not, or at least give you a much better indication. And what's cool about Peter Drew's tool, LiveRank Sniper, when it's available, we're certainly going to notify you guys of it because I think it's a great tool. But what it does is it goes out and sets up live events via YouTube live events for all the keywords that you put into the tool or the software. And then what it'll do is it will go scan the search results, because remember, when you create a public YouTube live event, it indexes and it will rank even if there's no video there. It's just a gray thumbnail image because it's a scheduled live event, scheduled for in the future. And so this thing goes out and sets up all these live events, and then it'll go back and scan the first 2 pages of the search results for the keywords that you submitted and look to see if you have a live event ranked, and a scheduled live event that hasn't even been broadcast yet ranked. And the ones that are ranked, then you can go in and right from the software upload the video and it'll live stream it just like Wirecast would. So it does all the testing before you ever upload one video, is my point. So it saves loads of time. And that's a great tool, guys. It'll be coming out soon. It's in beta right now. I will definitely be bringing it to everybody's attention when it's available because I know a lot of you guys would find it very useful. Okay. So testing is the answer to number 1. Unfortunately, there's not really an easy way as of yet. Even that route still requires a little bit of work. And just because something didn't rank on page 1 immediately doesn't mean it can't rank. Okay? How do you know when you were just wasting time? Well, because typically what I will do is I'll try to rank a video because I usually, instead of just trying to rank a video for one keyword, I usually target 5 to 10 keywords. And I'll do all 5 to 10 videos at the same time because I'm using tools to automate this. Like I said, Hangout Millionaire, now LiveRank Sniper. So it makes it easy for me to test multiple keywords, and I try to get, out of 10 keywords, maybe 3 or 4 of them will rank, and the rest of them won't, right? So then what I'll do is and if they don't rank on page 1 right away, and guys, a lot of them don't, then it requires a little bit of additional SEO. A lot of the times, especially if you've got multiple syndication networks set up like what I do, it's just a matter of time for those Web 2 posts to start indexing or getting recognized by Google at least before you start seeing movement. So what I do is I'll syndicate a video through the networks, and then I just let it sit for about 10 to 14 days. And usually by then it has come up, it has surfaced to where it settles in at a pretty good place. And then if I need additional, if I need to do additional SEO work to that video, we have a multitude of things that we do. But after about 30 days, so when I first upload it, I wait about 2 weeks and then go check it. And if it needs additional SEO work, then I'll do additional SEO stuff. Again, there's a multitude of things that I can do to the video at that point. After about another 2 weeks, so a total of 30 days from the time that I uploaded the video or live streamed the video, if it hasn't ranked, I move on. And I usually have other videos because of the batch of keywords that I tested. Instead of just doing one, I test usually 5 to 10. And so out of those, I usually will end up having a couple, maybe 2, 3, 4 videos that will end up ranking within the 30-day time period. Not all of them will rank. Rarely. Sometimes they do. But it's very rare. So that's why I like to do batches of keywords, because then I have multiple videos to rank instead of wasting all my time on one. You ask, when are you just wasting time? Well, you're just wasting time if you're just working on one video. You're wasting time, number one. But number two is, like I said, I don't spend a lot of time on any one video because the systems I have in place seem to work. And if they don't work within 30 days, chances are it's not going to work. It's not worth any more effort. So hopefully that will help. As far as keywords for that, guys, the best tool in the world for keywords, for YouTube especially, in my opinion, and it's inexpensive, is Power Suggest Pro, because it has YouTube Suggest. It's a YouTube Suggest scraper, and you can scrape keywords from YouTube Suggest very, very quickly, and they're really long-tail keywords, and it's really, really good tool for that. Okay? So Power Suggest Pro, I'm sure Adam probably already dropped the link. Paul Fussell says, hi guys, my question is, how do you embed video Rich Snippet Generator for schema.org markup with the blog posts on WordPress? Paul, you switch to the HTML editor and you paste in the schema.org code. However, that said, there are a lot of WordPress themes that will strip that HTML code out, the microdata markup, because it's foreign to WordPress. So a lot of themes will strip that out. So you're better off using JSON for video Rich Snippet Generator. You're going to need to use microdata. So in that case, you need to add, you either need to have a theme that does not strip it out, or you can add, I believe there's a plugin called Raw HTML that you can add to WordPress. Let's go Google this real quick. And if you have this plugin added to WordPress plugins, Raw HTML, you have to test this, because I can't remember if it was this one or not, because I know what you're talking about, Paul. When you add microdata, a lot of times if you switch, here it is, right here, there's short codes right here that say raw. If you use this plugin and then you wrap your microdata text in these short codes here that say raw, then WordPress won't by default remove the formatting, if that makes sense. So go try this and try microdata. Just wrap them in those short codes right there that say raw. Install the plugin and try that, and then test it, because that should keep the microdata intact. But I know what you're talking about. It's a pain in the ass, and some themes do it and some themes don't. So apparently you have one that is.
I would also suggest not to get carried away with microdata, because if you just have a blog, I mean, you can see how much information something like Twitter feeds through microdata, right? But if you see something like a G site, which we use a lot, and how basic the Google requirements are for a regular website or maybe a blog, then you'll see that you don't really need to force feed all sorts of microdata for Google to understand what it is that you're doing. Some of it is expected. Like you could do a video, you could do your sameas and your company information. But if you get carried away and you start wrapping everything and doing everything with microdata, I mean, at some point you could be tagged for schema spam, right?
Yep.
I mean, you have to be really careful. I mean, don't just go overboard, and don't think that microdata in itself and doing that is going to rank you. It's just because that's just one section of the algorithm that you're feeding.
No, but it does help. And I was trying to, but I'm not logged into Firefox, so it won't let me comment. I was going to drop this link, but go to Systrix. You probably, some of you that are watching this that are wondering what the hell is video rich snippets, video microdata, guys. This is a video object generator here. Systrix.com/video-SEO. Sistrix.com/video-SEO. You can generate video microdata here, and it works really. It does help a lot, though. It's something that obviously you have to do manually each time, unless you're using a plugin that does it, which there are plugins that will do that, markup videos for you, which is what I recommend you do if you're doing a lot of it, because it'll automate it for you. But you know, certainly I understand what you're saying, Marco, that you know, you can get carried away with it, but I do think that this having video marked up properly is beneficial. It's really helpful, especially because you can get the video to show up in the search results with your URL, your blog URL next to it instead of YouTube. So, okay. All right, next. I forget where I was. Let's see if I can find it. Okay,
I
here
think
we
Bob is next. There you go.
Local lead gen 3-pack. In my neck of the woods, there are a couple of big companies who are in multiple niches. Okay, yeah, that's pretty standard. Question, is ranking multiple niches in the 3-pack possible from one USPS address for Google verification, using a different subdomain or pages, using different phone numbers per niche, directed to different clients? Yeah, probably. You can. It can get messy, though, very quickly. The best way to do this, and I used to do this years ago when I used to use UPS stores. I don't anymore, or USPS address. That's okay. That's different. That's the way I go now. And so for that, because they're inexpensive enough, I just buy a separate box, PO box, per business, per business that I'm setting up. And it's only because it's inexpensive enough. Depending on where you are, I know, like in some of the more rural towns, guys, I can get a 12-month commitment to a US PO box for $64 or $68, something like that. So it's under $70 for an entire year. Other more metropolitan areas, it might cost me $180 for the year, which is what, $15 a month. But to me, it's just part of the cost of doing business for each business that I set up, or each lead gen site that I set up. So I use a different PO box for each. Now, years ago, when I was using UPS store box, mailboxes, I would just talk to the owner of the store and tell them that I was like whatever the street address was. Let's say my box was 101. I would say I'm going to have 101A, 101B, 101C, and each one of them is going to be a different business name, but they're all going to be shipped to the same box, just with a different letter as a qualifier, right? And that used to work well. But again, I personally, because PO boxes are cheap enough, I just buy a separate PO box for each business, and that's how I recommend doing it, because it's just cleaner that way. You know what I mean? Like it's because your address is more unique at that point. It is less likely for it to have it cause NAP or citation issues. Number one. Number two, it's less likely to get smacked by Google, because of, in my opinion. So just don't be cheap, Bob, is all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying you are being cheap. It would be nice if we could do that, and you may be able to do it. I just don't risk. I haven't attempted that with PO boxes, and I don't think I ever will. All right. Okay, we got just a couple minutes left. Michael says, Video Powerhouse best practices over the past few years, we've discussed a variety of procedures and tools that can be applied to ranking videos. I'm getting confused as to what to use when. Please comment on your best strategic approach to ranking a competitive local video like Best Plastic Surgeon Seattle. As an example, launched 12 videos using Hangout Millionaire live events on a YouTube channel with a 2-tiered IFTTT network. Would you say use SendWire now or wait a few weeks for the G-Dance to play out? I would wait. That's what I just mentioned earlier, Michael. I usually wait about 14 days, 10 to 14 days, before I do any additional SEO work after something's syndicated through my networks. I always wait before I do anything else because a lot of times it just needs some time, guys. So, let's see. We're going to wrap up here. I've got somebody beating on my door downstairs. Isn't that a bitch? So we're going to have to wrap it up here, guys. We're almost out. We're out of time anyways, really. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap it up right now, guys. We apologize for any of the questions that we didn't get to, but close enough, right?
Yeah, we might get to maybe 1 or 2 on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for being here. No masterclass or mastermind this week. We will see you guys next week for Hump Day Hangouts again. So thanks everybody for being here.
Sounds good.
Later,
Bye
man.
bye.